amazing thing when you go on stage, that before going on stage you think about your instrument and you think about your body and how you're feeling and the audience, and as soon as the music starts, it's all gone and you're just like taken by something, you're just possessed by something, and something that's much bigger than any of us and all of us combined. And it's a great privilege as a musician that you get to have something like that in your life, because I think that's why people come to the concerts, because they also want to have that in their lives, that you become a part of something greater and that makes you forget the everyday things, and makes you forget yourself. Well, the cello was historically always used as a kind of melancholy instrument in the operas, in the symphonies, even in the chamber music. From the beginning of the Romantic era, that's how composers used it. So it has a sort of an old soul melancholy, and that's always spoken to me. I've always related to that. I've always felt like I'm that kind of person. So I think that's how it should be used. The moment there's a trend a little bit to go away from that in the way that it's played, it's kind of played in a more kind of macho way, more virtuosic way, which is, I guess it's important for the cello to emancipate itself and to become, to keep, it's kind of catching up with the violin as a solo instrument. I just hope it doesn't lose that, because it's never going to be as brilliant as a violin is, and there's no point to try. It's better to accept the true nature of the cello and develop that, I think. Well, traveling is not great for the instruments. They don't like it. I mean, I was just in Bogota, which had a certain climate. I was in Chile before that. I came from London before that. And the planes are not good, and the air conditioning is not good. I mean, my cello is not so sensitive. I know some people's instruments are just constantly in trouble. But it's after 300 years, it's been through a lot, so it's not so sensitive, I guess. But still, also altitude makes a difference. I think here is like 2,000.
Yeah. And
in Bogota it's even more. And already when I came here, I was like, okay, there's a bit more air, so there's a bit more sound. Once I was playing in El Alto in La Paz, it's 4,000, and this air is so thin that the sound doesn't come out of the instrument. And
so it's complicated.
So all those things you have to take into account. Well, 6 years ago I met a young group of musicians. It was my first time in Latin America. And a friend in Germany asked me to play with them. There were like 20 musicians in Santa Cruz de la Sierra, and I was like 26, and they were like between 18 and 25 or something, so they were younger than me, and they put together this group and we played Saint-Saëns concerto. And I only understood on the second day that there was no like professor, there was no mentor, there was nobody that was in charge. They were just themselves putting this group together and putting on the concert. And no one teaching them, and they were just doing the whole thing themselves, and I was so impressed. I never saw anything like that before, because there are a lot of initiatives to make young people play music, but for young people themselves to just take the initiative is really unique, I think. And because Bolivia is so remote, even for Latin Americans, they don't really go there. I realized that if I don't do something, like, who is gonna do it? So I decided to support them by bringing other musicians, other conductors, other soloists, advising them on repertoire, advising them on rehearsal techniques, on schedules, on just the development of the whole project. And within 3 years, they formed a full symphony philharmonic orchestra, Orquesta Filarmónica de Bolivia, which is the first really philharmonic orchestra in the country. And they just gave the Bolivian premiere of a Mahler symphony last year, the first time ever in the history of the country. Mahler 1, and I was there last time, like in April, and we did the Eroica Symphony, and I played Saint-Saëns concerto with them, and it's developed amazingly quickly and amazingly well, and it's now the kind of the umbrella of all musical activity really in the country. It's like the Philharmonic Orchestra is the goal of all Bolivian musicians to reach, and so it's a big inspiration for them to work towards that, and it inspired all kinds of projects for younger kids and stuff to prepare for that.
So a very, very nice project to feel proud.
Yeah, I mean, I'm now I've now, it's not developed to a point where I'm just letting it breathe. Like there's so much work going on that I'm just watching it, and when they need my help, I'm happy to, and I conduct them twice a year, play with them and teach, but it's a really success story, so I'm just happy to watch it grow. You know, when I arrived yesterday for the rehearsal, I saw some of the staff, and I was saying, it feels like yesterday. It really, because it was not even 2 years ago that I was here, and it's so familiar. It feels like I just came back.
Oh.
Yeah. So in the hall, I love the hall. It's an amazing hall. I was teaching there yesterday, and it sounded great, empty, and now rehearsing with the orchestra. It sounds fantastic. So I look forward to the concerts on the weekend. Well, the Dvorák is one of the most, if not the most important concerto really for cellists, the most loved, the all-time favorite. We all love to play it, and everybody loves to hear it, and extremely challenging in every way, instrumentally and emotionally, very draining, very, very subjective, very confessional, very broad spectrum of emotional developments, and goes very, very deep, very personal. And physically quite draining also. You need a lot of power. The orchestra is very big, especially we're playing with 9 cellos, 12 first violins, big orchestration. But the greatest joy to play this piece.
Thank you so much. Always is a pleasure to have you at home and interview you.